going to do now is something really useful, and we're going to teach our dogs not to rush out of the door when we go to the door, when we're either answering the door or we're about to leave. The last thing you want, especially if you haven't got a gated yard or garden, is for your dog to run out of your front door into the street. But you need to basically shape this behaviour. So what we're going to do is we're going to reward Jambo for sitting and waiting while I open the door. But we're going to do this in very small steps. Now the first step, Jambo sit, would just be me looking at the door. Yes, and I mark and reward. The next step would be me just moving one foot. Notice one foot stays still, the other foot's gone towards the door. That's all. I'm not actually walking towards the door, I'm just taking one step with one leg and back. So we'll try that. Mark and reward. Now I've got a clicker here, you can use your verbal marker, so I'll do that next. So what I'm going to do this time, I've just moved slightly away. So this time, pretend that we've done the previous steps several times. So this time I'm going to take a step. Straight back to him. Mark and reward. Do that several times. And then take 2 steps. Straight back, mark and reward. Several times. For each thing, you're doing it several times. I'm doing it quickly, because obviously I think you'd get slightly fed up if you watched me taking 100 steps to get to this door. But that's what you're going to do basically. So remember, you look, you pretend to step, you take a step, then you take 2 steps, and you mark and reward every single time. So now let's try for 3 steps. Straight back. Good boy. Okay, and we're going to build on that. In fact, we're going to build a bit of time into it. So, my 3 steps, a couple of seconds, and back. Yes, good boy. So do the same again. I'm turning towards the door this time. And back. Yes, good boy. Now once you've done that and you've managed to make your way to the door, the next step is going to be that you touch the door handle. Okay? You don't move it, you don't try and open it, you just touch it. So, we've got to our door. Yes. So I touched the handle, it didn't move. And again. Yes. Once you've done that several times, you're going to pull the handle down or turn the handle however your door opens. Notice I didn't actually open it. Yes, good boy. So again. Yes, good boy. You're going to mark and reward, okay? Once you've got to that stage, you can open the door, but you're going to open it half an inch, okay? So. And close. Yes, good boy. And you're going to build on that, so you're gradually going to add in an inch at a time until the door's open. Once the door's open, you're still not expecting your dog to go anywhere, you're expecting him to stay, so you mark and reward if he stays. What you're also going to do, which I haven't actually done here, you're going to have a leash on your dog. Because what you don't want them to do is run out of that door. Every time they run out of the door, they're actually rewarding themselves. And therefore it's self-reinforcing, they're going to keep doing it, because once they get out there, it's like, wow, I can do this, that or the other. You don't want that. You want the reward to be what you're giving them, okay? And you do not want them to have that experience of rushing out and rewarding themselves, because then that's the behaviour that would increase. We don't want that. We want to absolutely extinguish the rushing out of the door. The way to do that is for them never ever to practice it. So you start off with a leash, so that you've got a leash that's going the full length from where you've got your dog to the door. And you probably, I don't know, maybe you want your dog to be here if you go and answer the door, maybe you want them to be here, it's up to you where you put them, or maybe you're quite happy with them right next to the door as long as they sit there and don't rush out. Okay, so we'll do the last stage of this. Jumbo sit, Jumbo wait, so I'm going to ask him to wait this time. And I'm going to open the door. Pretend I've done it a half inch, then I've done it an inch, couple of inch, more and more, and test the other side of it. Tessa, wait. Good girl. Okay, Tessa, through. Good girl. And so that's me opening the door. I shut it quite quickly, and we'll carry on from that a little bit later in the video. Right, I'm going to do a quick review now of teaching a dog to wait at the door to go outside. So, if you remember, what we did is we marked and rewarded for me just looking at the door. We then marked and rewarded for me turning towards the door, for me pretending to take a step, and then for me actually taking a step. Each time we're rewarding her for sitting there. We've got the leash on the floor, so that if she were to move, I can step on the leash and stop her from rushing out, because we don't want her to get that reward of getting outside, because it would be self-reinforcing and she'd be more likely to do that. So we want to extinguish the behaviour, and so the only thing we want from now on is for her to sit and wait. You can build on this by getting somebody to knock on the door. So they knock. You do this, you plan this, yeah? You plan this so that you're ready. But they knock, you come to the door and you ask your dog to sit, you mark and reward for them sitting. And you take your time, you don't have to rush and open it straight away. If you're at the stage of opening the door, then great, but if you're not, then you do all the steps, okay? So, if you remember, we'd got to the stage with Jambo where we'd actually quickly opened the door, and I think Tessa was at the other side of it, and we shut the door. So we're going to pretend that we're at that stage again now with Tessa. So I'm going to ask Tessa, Tessa, wait, and I'm going to open the door. Yes, and I'm going to close the door. How I build on that now is by adding in more time. So I'd open the door, Tessa, wait. I'm going to take a step towards it, and I'm going to wait. Yes. So that's building on it. The next step would be me actually going out the door. So I'd go out the door, but I'd go out just for a second and come back in, and I'd then increase the time. Now, eventually, you won't be given these food treats, because the ultimate reward is the reward of going outside, maybe. Now, if it's not, if you're not going to be letting them go outside, then yeah, by all means, keep rewarding with the food. You can occasionally just give a big reward saying, oh, you know, enthusiastic, good girl, good boy. But a nice reward for them staying where they are. A good reward if it's visitors coming would be that your visitors were able to give them treats once they came inside, especially if they stay in a nice position like this and not jumping all over them. So we'll just practice that once more. Tessa, wait. I'm going to go outside. And I'm going to wait out here a couple of seconds. Come back in. Yes, good girl. Now, if I actually wanted Tessa to come with me because we're going for a walk, then the ultimate reward isn't the food, it's the going for a walk. So I'd say, Tessa, wait. I'd open the door. Okay, Tessa, come. Yay, good girl, let's go. And off we would go for our walk. Tessa, come. Good girl. And that is teaching your dog to wait at the door. Remember, have lots of patience and build on this very slowly. Don't expect to be able to go, wait, and, you know, open the door and have it wide open and your dog not to move. Just build on it. And you can add in things like the time, you can add in distractions, you can have somebody knocking at the door, you could have somebody, when the door is open, plan this, that somebody's going to walk past and the dog can see them. And, you know, you're there ready to mark and reward, and even to encourage them to stay and wait. You might have to re-cue and just say wait, okay, because that would be a really big distraction. So build on it, and then when you need it, you've got it. Good girl, yeah? Very nice.